Hey, it's Adam, Avalon Auto, Alpharetta, Georgia. Avalon Auto Off-Road Builds on YouTube and Instagram. Next up, 2006 Lexus GX470, 111,000 miles, Cypress green pearl on OEM TRD Pro 4Runner wheels. These are the ones with +4 offset. 265/70 17, so a step up in tire size. Falcon Wild Peak AT3s. New sport headlights. Paint on this one is in great shape. The roof was showing some clear coat damage, just starting to peel and blemish in areas, so we had the roof repainted. This one, beautiful car. The pictures from the online auction, I bought it out of North Carolina. Exterior looked great, interior looks great, WeatherTechs, no leather repair needed, seats are in great shape, steering wheel was in great shape. It did need a dash, so I swapped a dash, swapped headlights. Once we swapped the headlights, we realized this was kind of rusty, unfortunately. Not horrible, frame's good. I went around this whole thing with a ballpoint hammer and, beat everything up. I did find some corrosion in the body mounts, so we took it up to TKO Fabrication. We ended up replacing a lot of parts, just anything that would have given the next owner headache, a shop that wouldn't work on it, something like that. So like the lower control arms, those were, one of them had been replaced, but cam bolts were original, so we swapped out lower control arms, swapped out and cleaned cam bolts, CV axles, axle seals. They did go through, the auction had undercarriage pictures, and it looked nice and clean, black, but looked like it had been undercoated. But once I got it, it had been undercoated. So frame, everything is solid. Like the body mounts, I was able to pop a hole right there, so TKO patched everything. They took a wire wheel. It had a lot of flake, no rust damage, rather, like no, other than those body mounts, nothing was compromised, but it had been undercoated multiple times. So they took a wire wheel to the undercarriage, the axle, scraped everything off they could with the wire wheel, and then treated it with, I forget what he said, it's kind of like a POR 15. So it has been re-cleaned. I'm not trying to hide anything here. It's one that I got, just had to deal with it. So both body mounts have been patched. Lower control arms have been replaced. Cam bolts cleaned and anti-seized. CV axles have been replaced. Calipers have already been replaced from the previous owner. This had a pretty decent exhaust manifold leak. So the best way to do exhaust manifolds is OEM manifolds. And I get it done at the Lexus dealer here in Nally Lexus Roswell. They had concerns because of corrosion. They were able to get them both off, and they replaced all the studs for the exhaust manifolds. So I think it was like 16 in total or something like that, but new exhaust manifolds on both driver and passenger. Of course, that means the catalytic converter as well. New OEM battery. Let's see, there was a handful of other maintenance things we did to this. Timing was already done at 99,000. I think radiator was done at some point just prior to 100K. But this thing's clean as a whistle outside of the undercarriage. Undercarriage, I did everything I could to address the problem areas. Things like this, like perfect nets, perfect interior, super clean. Third row's intact. All the sound system sounds great. Felt like kind of had to do everything. I almost wanted to kick it back to auction. But what I pay for these things when they're in this shape, at least at the online auction, I'm not going to get that back. So we basically threw the book at it. Said, okay, anything that's going to give somebody a problem, let's go ahead and take care of it. So, everything from the manifolds, the control arms, CV axles, even like skid plate bolts that were corroded. They were having to cut them off and re-weld in new nuts and such. So we've already taken care of it all. I'm really hoping this wouldn't give a new owner any problems down the road, because it's been corrected as best as we can down in the south. Take it up north. They've got like the dry ice stuff, and you know, the interior's super clean. It's got all the books. Does have rear TV as well. 111,000 miles. Runs fantastic. Rides really good. But it's got West Virginia history, which bit me. But again, the way I do business, I'm going to do everything I can to address it. So, full disclosure, it's got some rust. I've done everything we can to address it. I think it's a great truck now. So, I'm planning on not making really any money on this because I spent so much. Those manifolds by themselves is almost $2,000 job, a little bit over actually, probably closer to $2,500 because they're around $760 a side for OEM manifolds. So I mean, that's, you know, $1,500 and change just for the parts. But beautiful truck. We've got quite a few more coming up, but this one, you know, it's been a restoration project solely on the undercarriage. Adam with Avalon Auto, Alpharetta, Georgia.